In this video, I'm going to show my analytics for SEO campaign process. Really with analytics, there's a few phases that we're going to want to dig into on how you can best use this to improve your SEO. If you stay till the end of the video, I'm going to kind of walk through my full stack of tools and my process for leveraging analytics to show the value in your SEO work, but also to leverage analytics to figure out what to improve. So the first step to really mastering analytics is making sure your tracking is dialed in and you have your Google Analytics 4 set up properly. Now, we're not going to do a full Google Analytics setup here, but the main takeaways here is you want to make sure you have custom events set up. Out of the box, Google is going to give you some basic data on page views, on scroll tracking. There's a lot of standard events that Google will track, but really you need to do some customization here based on your business. So in this example of a storage facility, we've added custom events where someone views the billing form, where they add their payment info. We have a custom event for purchases, which are essentially e-commerce online transactions. Rent intent, we set up an event for when they have when they're looking at the payment form. So again, you could come up with a number of things and a variety of ideas here. We're tracking if existing customers are logging in as well, so we could exclude them from our marketing data. So really the possibilities are endless with this. What you want to do is take a look at your website and think about your business or your client's business and just start to jot down and write down in a spreadsheet or a Google Doc, what would you like to track? And then you can go through and see like, am I tracking any of these things currently? And you could put a plan together to figure out exactly what you need to track to have kind of the highest quality analytics possible. Now, there is a case to be made for tracking too many things. We're all guilty of that, but really you want to make sure what you're tracking is actionable, or at least what you're reporting on. It's okay to track some extra things, even if you may not use them now, but you might use them later. But when we get to reporting and analysis, we only want to focus on the metrics that matter. The more metrics we throw in, the less likely it is we're actually going to do anything and take action. So really important to simplify the metrics and the data you're looking at. Start to think through like what your goals are for the business, how the websites and your marketing support that, and then come up with some metrics that can help you evaluate. So make sure this is dialed in. Now, I only set key events. So key events are sort of like the conversion tracking in Google Analytics. You just mark off the ones that are important to you. I like to set up as many events as I feel are relevant, but then I typically only do key events for my highest quality conversions. So in this case, it's purchase. And I like this billing form view as well in this client, but sometimes it'll just be purchase or a demo request or a form submission or even a phone call. So those are kind of the things that I would look at. Now, once you have your Google Analytics set up and you're tracking these custom events, again, we're not going to go too deep into custom tracking. I have some other videos on how to use Google Tag Manager to create these events. You could also create some events right inside GA4 now. But once you have all of this set up, I don't like to use GA4 for reporting. I like to have GA4 sort of track my data and store all of it, but then I like to push that data into a tool like Looker Studio. There's a number of visualization tools that you can use. This is just one of the ones I tend to use the most often because you can connect it to a variety of data sources. There are some SEO tools like SE Ranking, SEMrush that do have report builders. And we'll cover that as well, because if you do have subscriptions to these tools or you want to sign up to these tools to use their other features, you do get baked in reporting products that you can use. So if you don't want to spend the time to build an external report on another tool, you can kind of go the all-in-one route. Now, for Looker Studio, the nice thing about it, in this storage facility, we're actually connecting to their property management software and pulling in move-in data. The way we're doing that is we're connecting a Google Sheet as the data source. So as long as you can get data into a Google Sheet, you could essentially connect anything to Looker Studio, which is a really powerful effect here because you don't need a native connector. So it's one of the reasons I like this tool. If I can find a way to get data into Google Sheets, I can now visualize and show trends. For storage facilities, move-ins are the most important thing. So I'm able to trend those out and show how many move-outs, how many net move-ins. I like to break down monthly and quarterly. One visualization technique that I like personally is zooming out and showing these longer term trends. One of the mistakes I tend to see is instead of month, using a date. Let's say day, or this is the Google Sheet. Let's do this on we'll do this on a traffic slide. So if we go to organic traffic here, this is showing how much organic traffic to the website. You'll see when you look month to month, you could actually see the trends. So May was the best month we've ever had. We've had great growth starting in December. Prior to that, there wasn't much growth. We were averaging about 50 to 60 organic sessions per month. If you start reporting like this, it's too granular. You're going to have no idea what's happening. It's one of the reasons I don't like these daily charts unless you're going to actually do something. If traffic changes in one day, which for most businesses, that's not going to be the case. I really don't like reporting like this. And I think it's not actionable. Like if we look at this now, if you look at that quickly and you can't figure out what the takeaway is, your visualization's not right. You want to be able to look at a chart and instantly know what it's saying. In this case, I have no idea what this means. Everything's just up and down. What does it actually mean? If I go back to this format, we can clearly see we're trending up. And that's kind of the takeaway. Same thing with impressions. So in Looker Studio, you have the option of visualizing data in different ways. Again, I have some other videos on the channel that go more in depth on how to use Looker Studio. But the nice thing about this tool is you can see on the right here, all my slides. I have Google Ads data in here, so I can show Google Ads conversions. I could show organic search traffic. This is one of my favorite reports to make, this target keyword report, where I can click on an individual keyword and then it'll actually filter these slides above. And I can see I started ranking on the first page as of March, and now I've been averaging right around position 3. I'm getting only 1 click per month, it looks like, but that's kind of the power in using some of these tools. And this data comes from Google Search Console. So now I can have Google Analytics, Google Ads, Google Search Console all in one report, and I don't need to navigate to all those different tools. Even my Google Business profile, I can connect that here as well and pull in data directly from my Google Business profile. And right here, I can see my views are at an all-time high, which I wouldn't know without getting this reporting set up. So I also do stuff like this sometimes. If you're using a local map scanning tool, like SE Ranking has this feature, Bright Local, Local Falcon. I'll take a screenshot and drop that in sometimes. So you could also drop in screenshots here. So you could really customize this. Now, this is more high touch. So if you want to automate your reporting, you can do some automation in here for sure. You don't necessarily need to put in screenshots and things. You could just sort of have some base charts set up. That's where some of these tools come in. In just 1 or 2 clicks, I can generate reports. So if I go to SE Rankings Report Builder, they give me a variety of templates that I can start with. You'll see I've downloaded a couple. Here, this is the project report. So if we take a look at it, it'll automatically create this report for me that's based on the project. A project, you can add tracking. So I'm tracking specific keywords. I'm tracking this domain, 159selfstorage.com. And I can sort of see ranking changes. So it looks like I've seen some decline here. Average position. I can get a keyword by keyword breakdown on each day, how I'm trending. So we can see that here as well. So this is kind of your base project report. But I could also do other reports here as well. And you can see if you hover over it, you'll see what the pages are in the report. Competitor overview, rankings and competitors, organic traffic. This SEO report is the most complete one. So if you sort of want everything, you can click on this. We can go to our project here. And let's actually we'll go to this one for now. And again, I can export in different formats. I'm going to do last month. So again, pretty easy to generate. And now I have a report that's built. Now, depending on your plan, if you're doing this for clients, I would recommend upgrading your plan so you could white label this and get your logo and branding on it and really make it look like a custom report that your clients get. So I would definitely recommend that and getting your own branding on here. But you get a table of contents. Everything's customizable. You can delete things. So you can make this your own. But out of the box, you get quite a bit. So search visibility, average positions. Again, I'm going to scroll down here. Ranking history. Now, this is a pretty detailed report. For some clients, this may be too much. And that's where you can go back to the report editor and figure out like what are the things they're going to care about. This level of detail may be a report that just you use or your internal team uses that's doing the SEO work to really dig into what's happening. You even get your technical audit in here, tasks, marketing plan that come from SE Ranking. I don't have social media connected, but I could and get some more slides here. But yeah, super detailed report. Again, you may need something simpler. So you might say like, okay, all I need is this organic traffic report. Again, customize your logo, customize your branding, and then have a simpler report that, again, you can export out of here. You could schedule these as well. I tend to not schedule reports. If I'm going to schedule it, I'm going to send it to myself first so I could add some analysis. I don't like sending clients blank reports with no analysis. So if you're going to schedule it, I would schedule it to yourself and then send it to your client in an email with a few bullet points of the takeaways. What are you seeing in the data? What are the biggest takeaways? And more importantly, what are you going to do going forward? With analytics for SEO, that's kind of one of the another mistake that I see is too much focus on what happened and not enough focus on how do we use this data to make a change or adjust our strategy and have better performance. That's where you want to get to with analytics. You really want to be forward looking with it. And always have a next step or a strategy based on the data you're seeing. And again, that's where having too much data sometimes can hurt you. If you have too many metrics, it's hard to know what to do. If you only have 3 metrics that you care about, it's much easier to know what the action is for each metric. So this is the organic traffic report here. Again, see, much simpler report. It's pulling in from Google Analytics here, showing my conversions, my traffic. And again, you can customize these as well. But the nice thing about these, again, if you need a quick report, you can kind of see all your options here. You could even create one from scratch, which is what I recommend. I recommend building your own template, using some of what these tools like SE Ranking give you, but then ultimately like customizing this for what you think your clients are going to want. So those are the biggest things I'm seeing right now for analytics for SEO is really making sure your tracking is set up properly. That's first and foremost. You need to get that right. If you don't have the right data tracked, it doesn't really matter what kind of reports you make. Then the next thing to do would be selecting a reporting tool. Do you want to go with a Looker Studio, which is a little more work to build out, or do you want to use more automated reporting from a tool like SE Ranking or SEMrush also has this as well. So select your reporting tool. Then really start to think through, as you're building out your reporting, what are the metrics that matter? And what are the ones that I'm going to actually take an action on? And try and simplify your reports as much as possible. You'll see my report here is pretty detailed, but this report's more for my team. If I was going to sort of show this to a client, I would simplify this a lot and just really have the key takeaways and give them some manual analysis with it. So that's it for now. If you're interested in more kind of Google Analytics, more custom setup, how to set up these custom events, how to use Google Tag Manager, I do have other videos on this channel. So just click through to the channel here and you'll be able to find some playlists with all of my Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, and Looker Studio videos.